Item number 6.5 deals with the minutes of the Horse Tram Committee. Recommendation 1, that Council receive and note the minutes of the Horse Tram Committee special meeting held on the 11th of August. Councillor Schofield, happy to move that way, thank you. Second by Councillor Andrews.
I'd like to talk about this, if you don't mind. Basically, the committee has done a lot of work, and it appears to me that it's been a time warp for the last 20 years. In fact, the wording in the editorial of August the 12th, 1999 could not be better said. And I believe that our committee and the expertise our committee has got will not fail the horse tram and the horses or our community. We will look at it, and even if we have to work double time or treble time even, within a very short space of time we will get a few recommendations through after we've done due diligence. I'm not very happy with some of the wording on the original agenda that was presented to the Horse Tram Committee, but it has been changed, and I can say to the community that I personally am very grateful to the staff for giving us every cooperation, and I believe that we're going to work forward to make this horse tram not only viable, but most certainly well renowned. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments in relation to receiving the minutes? Yes, Councillor Marshall.
I have some concerns with this. I have concerns that we are now paying sitting fees to people, and that if we're starting off in this way, calling meetings, special meetings, perhaps Director Jessup could tell us how much it costs every time we call a meeting of this committee. I'll leave that with it for a second. The other thing is, one of the major problems with the horse tram, of course, apart from a couple of horses dying, which still doesn't seem to have been addressed particularly strenuously, is the cost, the amount of money it's losing. But if you look on page 42, Council has budgeted $35,000 for expression of interest and committee expenses. Council has also budgeted for 3 full-time positions for the tram. One full-time equivalent of this remains vacant whilst the process of the review is being undertaken. And then it says the budget for this vacant position could be diverted to provide a project officer to support the committee's expanded endeavour. Why not a horse husbandry officer? That's what it's all about. We don't need more bureaucrats and more project officers. Council's full of project officers. Why don't we start looking at the original horse tram committee was formed because B.J. Cooper died, and there was public outrage over that, and we've just lost another horse, but still we don't have a horse husbandry officer. Instead we're going to have another project officer. Now I'd just like to know why we're considering spending money at all on bureaucracy. That's words fail me. I just think it's ridiculous how that could even be considered. Now, horse project officers are not going to do anything to ensure the well-being of the horses, and that's my main concern, and has always been my main concern. All they're going to do is use up the money for something that's worthwhile. And the first horse tram committee was formed to look after the horses, and it very quickly got turned into a tourism committee, like everything does in Harbour. Now, I've got no problem with a tourism aspect, but it seems this whole thing now is focusing on tourism, and there's been very little said about the well-being of the horses. So I think that immediately we need to be employing a horse husbandry officer, because that's the main thing that we need, not more project officers.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor Schofield.
Yes, look, I'd just like to, as chair of this committee, clarify a couple of things. The committee's had 2 inductions. At the first induction, we were going through our terms of reference. to put anything up to this council, we had to call a special meeting, so we had a time frame. We called a special meeting to look at the terms of reference, to put them to the meeting. I think that what you and others have to do is give this committee a chance. We've had one brief meeting to clarify our terms of reference. We have had 2 full inductions looking at everything across the tram, from the tram to out at the sheds. The committee is just formed. We do not have our first meeting until the 1st of September. You speak about paying sitting fees. We are paying professional people to sit on this committee. Please give them a chance. I mean, you did vote for some of this. We have a vet, a very, very well qualified vet as part of this team. And she is indeed looking at the horses. We are not looking at tourism, we are looking across the whole, everything to do with the horse tram, from the finances, from the past to the future, everything. So please give us a chance to come back with a report.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor Chibin.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I'd like to say that this committee was independently chosen, which is what Council wished it to be done, and that was confirmed by Council, and I believe now that this committee should be allowed to move forward and do their work without any interference from elected members or the community.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Point of order.
Sorry, what's the point of order, Councillor Martin?
The point of order is that elected members being involved in these things isn't interference, it's our job. And the reality of the whole situation is that while Victor Harbour Council is managing this, we need to be vigilant, because I've seen all this before, and lots of other people have seen it all before. And if the elected members don't keep putting their nose into this, it's not going to go anywhere. I can tell you that right now from experience. Because so I take exception to being told that I'm interfering when I'm just doing my job. And you know,
but it's not really a point of order, it's your opinion. Yes, Councillor Dent. Sorry.
We've been on the horse tram treadmill for quite a while now, and I think we need to move forward and turn up the steps. This committee, from what I understand, and I've taken a great deal of interest in it, even though I'm not a member of it, has got some extremely qualified people on it, some people who are very passionate, not just passionate, but are qualified and passionate about the horses. And I 100% agree with Councillor Schofield's point that we really need to let it get going and start doing the job that we as a council actually voted it in to do. So I 100% agree with that.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor Charles.
And I agree, treadmill is for sure, and nobody's any fitter as a result of being on it either. But it's taken a long time to get this committee up and running. It's had its first meeting. Everything looks very, very positive. I have faith in you people. You've made your statements in front of the camera tonight, so we'll see the action. The one person missing on this committee, of course, is the most experienced horse person, and I've already said it before, and that's Kim Bailey, who ran it all very, very successfully, and there were no difficulties or problems whilst he did. And I do hope you'll do more with him than just occasionally ask for his assistance. I do hope you'll include him in your conversations. There's a BRM Hillbitch report I noticed that you received here in the minutes, and I was wondering, just maybe someone can explain what that was all about and how much did that cost, because it's just a matter of knowing. It's only pennies, of course, about $5,000 I suppose. Can somebody give me some indication of why that had to be done before you had even put your heads together, are administration running this, or are you running this?
Yeah, thank you. I'll perhaps I'll get Director Pathouse if he can clarify some of the costs that was mentioned there.
Through your worship, the BRM Holdings report referred to in some of those recommendations from the committee was the report that council commissioned, as in the elected body of council commissioned back in around about October or November last year, the results of which were presented to council in February, and out of that process came the committee. So that's the report that's referring to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Grapple.
So just to clear up my mind for a second, we're voting on this, all of these recommendations as part of one.
No, it's just the minutes.
So there's just a minute. Okay. I won't say anything yet, thanks.
No further comments? Yes, Councillor Scoville, in closing.
Yes, look, I would just like to also clarify, I noted that on Lance's TV station, he quoted that this meeting was actually called by staff. I'm really sorry to tell you that I, myself and my committee called the meeting and asked the staff to convene it. At no stage can the staff call meetings, it has to be from the elected members. So I'm just clarifying that whoever fed the information got it wrong, and it was purely to set the terms of reference and nothing else.
Thank you. That closed the debate. All those in favour? And those against? That's carried.